KellyLoveJones. Finally got you in the studio.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Speaking of studio, you're actually in the studio right now. You said mixing down the album, right?
Yeah, we're working on the album. New album is called Trust. It's actually with a full band, so drums, bass,
So a
guitars,
fully
some
live recorded
percussion.
album.
Huh?
The album fully recorded live.
Yeah.
That's the way you prefer to record. That's usually how you record. Or that was something you did for this particular project.
I like different ways to record. I don't have a particular way. I like to do stuff that's, digitized, digital. I like
Mhm.
analog. I like, live. I like, through machine. I prefer to work with live musicians. Yeah, I do. Just because it's, and when I do, well, also when I do, if I do an album where I do a lot of albums where I record it myself and I do the instruments myself, so I'll do all the live stuff myself, percussive parts, the guitar parts, and bass line and different things like that, keys or
Okay.
whatever needs to be put on there.
Before we get too far into this,
Mhm.
I already had the pleasure of meeting you and getting acquainted with you, and even been being tutored by you. You know what I'm saying? As far as a little class that we're involved in. But go ahead on and introduce yourself to my listeners, to my viewers.
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is KellyLoveJones. I am a singer, songwriter, guitarist, vocalist, percussionist from this beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay,
And
okay.
I'm happy to be here today.
We happy to have you, Miss KellyLoveJones. All right, let's get off into a little bit more specific. You say you're from New Orleans. What area did you grow up in?
I grew up initially in New Orleans East, but I've been living in the Treme for about 20 years now.
Okay, you've been in Tremere for 20 years. What
Yeah,
what
so
what pulled you to that area? Is it that that art feeling, or was it just a move that happened out of chance?
not out of chance. My grandmother had a house here in Treme, and when she passed, I received the
Okay.
house, and so I've been here ever since. It's just a beautiful gift.
I was about to say that seems like the ideal place for somebody like yourself.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Okay, how long has music been in your life?
I've been performing music since I was about 17.
Okay.
Probably about 16 is when I really wanted to start getting into it. Having the desire when I was 17, I started doing different things in high school. Playing around at the beating on the benches and
Right.
cafeteria in the gym and rhyming and stuff and just doing different talent shows and whatever I can get into. But I really started off as a hip hop artist. Like
Okay, I was
that
just about to
was
say
my
you said
main,
rhyming.
yeah, that's my main thing. Like that's really what I wanted to do when I started, because this dude once told me, he was like, girls don't know how to rap. And I was like, what you mean girls don't know how to rap? Like, yeah, he was like, yeah, girls don't know how to rap. I was like, man, I know how to rap. And I was just starting. So he was like, well,
Right.
rap about that candle on the table. So I was like, all right, you know, candle on the table is hot with the flame, so I try to do, just so I can, and if from that point, that motivated me
It
to
sparked
say,
the thing,
okay, I
right?
need to work on this. It's something I really want to do and something I feel passionate about, and I'm gonna work on it. But
Okay, musical influences. Who influenced you, or what influenced you? About music.
I had my aunt she's made a transition now, but she
Mhm.
was an opera singer.
I
And she played all kinds of different strings. She played the piano, she played guitar, she played harp. And I went to stay with her for a moment. And when I got there, she had, before I came, there was a flood in her basement. And the only thing that survived the flood was this guitar floating on top of the water.
man.
And she managed to grab that water out and salvage it. And when I got there and I moved in with her, she gave me the guitar. And she was like, I'm only going to give you this guitar if you promise me that you'll keep at it. And she bought me lessons and sat in front of me and made sure. She was like, let me hear what you learned today. And just was really disciplined upon me learning the instrument.
At what
So
age
she
was
was,
that?
I was 19.
Okay.
And so I kind of call myself a late bloomer, because I didn't really start, I didn't start singing until probably into my later 20s, like 22, 23, 24, when I was like, okay, let me incorporate. I got the hip hop, I got the guitar now. Let me incorporate some singing into it. And so yeah, I've kept my promise to my auntie to this day because it's important.
When did you know that all of these talents was coming together to become KellyLoveJones? Like, when did you know that?
Oh, but I was about 20. It was like 2001.
So a couple
And
years into it.
yeah, it was 2001, and this brother came out. I used to be a sound engineer at this jazz club. I went to school for sound engineering, and I used to do live sound engineering. And this brother came up to me one day, just out of the blue. He's one of the musicians, and top-notch musicians came through this club, and he came through. He was like, "Man, you rap, don't you?" And I was like, "Well, what make you say that? Like, I ain't never said, you know what I'm saying?" And I was like, "Yeah, I
We
do."
do get that from you though, just from your demeanor, by the way.
Yeah, he felt it. So I was like, "Okay, cool." I said, "Yeah, I do." He said, "Well, I produce. Why don't you come to the studio?" And he produced my first album. And from that production, I was rapping and I was trying to sing, but he would sit at the keyboard and be like, "No, hit this note, this note, this note." You know? And I was off tune. Yeah, I was definitely out of tune. But he worked with me to make sure that I got as close to it as I possibly could. And from then, he had a jazz band, and there was this club in New Orleans called the Funky Butt at one time. It was on Rampart Street.
Shout out to Big Bean. That my big brother used to he had stories about that. But
yeah, the Funky Butt was a place to be, man. But had this painting of this lady with this big old booty on the front of it.
Thought I'm so young though. I thought that was a joke. I don't really know nothing about it. So when he used to always bring these little stories up, I always thought it was a joke though. You're the only person I ever heard mention.
It was the Funky Butt, and then Big Sam from Big Sam Funky Nation took it over. But yeah, it was the Funky Butt. But they used to have all of these UNO cats, these real young jazz cats that would go and they would shed there. They would, learn different material. They would practice what they had to learn in school, and they would just be, just doing these different songs and these different jazz tunes. And the guy that produced my first album, James L. Sanders, is calling Mikey. He said, "Come on in, you could play with my jazz band." So from that point forward, the songs that he would produce, he would have the band to learn, and then I would do my lyrics on top of it. So I started off at the Funky Butt, and then went to Jazz Fest and Essence Fest and all of that good stuff. So
okay, with that being said, like what's your recording process like? Has your recording process changed over time, or is it pretty much what you were tutored into?
My recording process is where I record my own stuff. Generally, this latest album with the entire band, I went to a bigger studio that could facilitate and microphone everything. Right. And but generally, I record my own stuff, and I just sit. And I'm not a punch-in girl. So right. If I mess up, I'm gonna start from 0 and go all the way to 4 minutes.
Right.
And then if I mess up, I'm gonna start back at 0 and try.
I mean, some people might call that old school, but it really does keep the track organically. You know what I'm saying? Correct. It keeps it all the way together. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have that same, even tone. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now I would just go say that, that's the ideal way, because I'm one of the ones, my brothers, they was the musical ones in the family. But you follow your big brothers, you want to do what they do. So we was recording when we was young, but that's one thing I can do. Anything I do, I could do it in a full take. If I don't get the take right, I could do it again. You see what I'm saying? And that really comes out to a more organic, fluid recording. That's all I was saying.
I feel that too. And at the same time, it helps you learn your material, right? Because you got to do it all over again and again and again. Repetition. So you got to memorize, or should be close to memorize by the time you're done.
Okay. So you say you came in the game really engineering and stuff like that. How much do you think that gives you an edge in the recording process?
I think it's important. I think that a lot of musicians should learn the engineering side, even if it's just the basics, because what you have the ability to do is to hear what your engineer is recording for you, and you
Right.
can verbalize it. Like you have the vocabulary to say,
It's a better
this is what I need
communication.
more of. This is what I need you to take out. This is what as opposed to, I hear something that don't sound right. And the engineer,
Yeah.
like, I don't know what it is. What,
Y'all not speaking the same language.
Exactly.
Right.
And then also for live settings too. You got to be able to tell the engineer that's running the board out in the house, or running your monitors on stage, I need more of this. I need more of that. Can you take down my mids? Can you give me a little reverb? Can you,
Right.
whatever it is that you need. So this is, and it's just basics, and I think it's kind of like what we learning in class. It's a lot of learning the basics of things, and at least having a foundation and the fundamentals to start off
Right.
into where you're trying to go.
Right. Okay. Another good question about this.
These are great questions.
When you are recording,
Mm-hmm.
how much do you? Okay, let me rephrase the question.
Mm-hmm.
You say this is not your first album, right?
Oh no.
So what's the difference in either experience and or even your talent level between the start, the first album, and Trust?
A whole lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot. I mean, lyrically, I've grown,
Mm,
in life, I've grown. So my subject matter has changed.
okay.
I think when I was younger, I actually pulled up that my first album about a week or two ago, and
Is
the
it's on
content.
digital platforms?
No, that album is not on digital platforms
I
right
still would
now.
like to hear it. You got to hook me up.
All right.
Got to hook me up.
All right. But my content was different. I was younger. I was, going through whatever I was moving through, and but I think, no, that's the life of music, right? It
Yeah, you got to
reflects
evolve.
the time that you're moving in, and that's moving around you. Yeah. So.
Okay. In evolving, has your approach to, like, say, collaborations, or like you say, working with new production teams and whatnot, by necessity, you say you prefer to record yourself, but like what was the evolution of that process, like how how much time do you actually put into the recording process opposed to as much time you used to put into it, as a younger artist?
Mm, I think I probably work a little smarter, not harder now, as opposed to um, recognizing on this latest album that I can go to someone who can work the digital side more, because it's in constant change.
Hmm.
The programs are constantly changing, and I'm
Right, the
just
way the
not
game
up.
is evolving itself, right? I get it.
Yeah, I'm not up on it,
Right.
like there's new Pro Tools things, there's new buttons, there's new things.
Right.
And so I still run. I wish I could show you my board. I still run off of like it's a little workstation,
Yeah.
but it's not a computer, it's not a Pro Tools, it's not that type of thing. But I learned from a workstation.
Right.
So I keep on that, and then I can bring that into a Pro Tools session.
Right. There you go.
But
Well,
Pro Tools is, it's quicker. Everything is really accessible and really like a click of a button. But
yeah.
my knowledge is
It
very
takes some
limited on
learning.
it.
It take
Yeah, I had Pro Tools. I learned Pro Tools 25 years ago. So, you know what I mean? That's
yeah,
when
it
they was
changed a lot.
first starting to move itself out here. So this has done a whole lot since then.
Who are some of your favorite artists?
Mm. I have to say Sade is one of my ultimate all-time favorite
I think that
artists.
that should be at least on everybody's at least top 10.
Everybody top
Everybody, I'm
10.
talking about, no matter what genre of music you appreciate. But go ahead.
Cassandra Wilson, she's a jazz vocalist that I really
I'm
love.
familiar.
I have a lot of people that I really like that are local, like Jermaine Basil is an amazing artist. There's a lot of people that I came up with, Big Sam, Funky Nation, they're amazing artists. Tank and the Bangers are amazing and rolling right now. Just a lot of people that I move with here in the city, that I've worked with, that are really a top inspiration for me.
Yeah, man. Peter Paul was telling me I need to, open up a little bit more to some of this other music and stuff like that. Cause he do the jazz. I believe it's on like Thursdays, Tuesdays or Thursdays, and
Yeah,
just broadening, my range of things that I'm taking in.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Try to change that up. Like, Million One Entertainment, we do hip hop music, what I'm saying, stuff like that. But I really do. I wanna branch out and start learning. So I'm older now. I'm older than, a lot of the guys that's on my label and stuff like that. And I'm
Yeah.
just, just maturing is bringing me different places. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And to each his own. And I'm still gonna support everything that my people got going on, because I know it's organic and it's a part of our life. It's a part of things that we done lived, and we trying to, convey a message through what we was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's a past tense thing. But at the same time, we can't leave a pile of trash behind us.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to clean that up and bring a couple of these young guys up with us. You know what I'm saying, on some righteous stuff. But I can't do that without taking in, you know what I'm saying, more things. I ain't even gonna say better, just different things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how important was that to you? Because I could tell that you have kind of a eclectic, collection of culture about yourself. You know
Well,
what
I
I'm saying?
like
How important was that for you?
it's important. It was important to me, and a lot of times, like now, I really don't listen to very much music. And if I do, I'll listen to music that is of another language
Mm.
and of different rhythms,
You
because
speak different languages though, correct?
I speak a little bit of Spanish, but
That's it.
yeah, that's pretty
So
much it.
how do you listen to music in other languages? You just follow the melodies?
I listen to it. You see, I think when we get used to like a certain kind of music, like hip hop music, like that rhythm is kind of the same, right? And
Yeah.
you got the 808 pumping, you got the snare hitting, you got,
Yeah, it's
the
pretty much the
melodic
same.
rap happening that's happening right now,
Yeah.
and you get used to that. But if you put on something like what's this group is called? Jupiter and Oquest. They're from the Dominican Republic of Congo. And they play these rhythms that are just like, what?
Right.
And it's a study, right? So it's, for me, it's a part of studying, because
Right.
when I listen to a song, I take out everything. I say, what is the drummer doing? And then I'll say, okay, what are the horns doing? And I'll compartmentalize everything. I'll put everything in its little place and try to figure out what it is, and then I'll listen to the composite of it. And I want to know the rhythm. Like, what is 6/8 rhythm? What is
And
what is
you're
this?
able to break music down like that as you listening to it.
Yeah, and you can too. But it's a practice. I used to make myself do it because I was like, oh, I'm just hearing the music.
I
But then
will
I'll be
say,
like,
not
huh?
to cut you off, I will say this though, since I've been doing this, like since I've been involved with the actual production of music and stuff like that, I do catch on. I do hear things a little bit more, keenly than I did before. So I can attest to what you're saying. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
it's
And
all
it's
about
fun.
sharpening the tools up.
Yeah, and I think for myself, I like to when I listen to something where I can't understand the words, I
Mm.
pay attention more to the song, because I'm not paying attention to the lyrics so much. I'm a lyric person. So if I'm listening to a song, I'm listening to every single lyric, how every single word, how it goes and what it's trying to say. I want to know the story.
The
And but
single you sent me, is that the first single up on the album, or is that just one of the singles
uh
off the album?
That would be a single off the album. Well, we haven't started to promote the album yet itself.
Okay,
Um,
that song, "There's More to Life." What inspired that song? Where did that come from?
More to life. I mean,
That's a beautiful song, by the way.
thank you, thank you.
For
I
real.
mean, it's just a point of really just breaking free. Freeing up, allowing yourself to be freed up, so that you can recognize that though we may be focused on these different aspects of life, of you know whatever it is, spending money, paying bills, taking care, whatever, to forget to allow yourself to free up, man. Like, really remember that young person who back in the day would just, have so many different creative ideas because there wasn't so much that was coming in that you've had to be responsible for,
Right.
So
Don't forget to live.
don't forget to live. Don't forget
Yeah.
to live.
It's easy to get caught up, especially when you have so much going on in life, and you like, an entrepreneur like ourselves, or what I'm saying,
Yeah.
is only 24 hours in the day, and you're trying to get
Yeah.
as much out of it as possible, what
Yeah.
I'm saying, to get yourself where you're going. But like you say, you'll mess around and get tripped up in life on your own thoughts or your own feelings or your own, problem situation, whatever it may be, and
Yeah.
you'll really have yourself, messed up. You know what I'm saying?
I'll
If you don't
miss
just take
out,
that time, yeah,
Yeah,
you
miss
gotta.
out on what's fun. You know what I mean?
And
You
I'm
gotta
a type
still.
of person. I don't know if we haven't known each other that long, but I don't know if you could tell. Like, I'm coming out of a rough period in life. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm,
lost my dad in 2015
mm,
while I was incarcerated. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? That put me in like a deep depression. Like,
mm,
I went through a lot. We lost a close friend of ours. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretty much in our yard. You know what I'm saying? Some
mm.
gun violence type of stuff. It was just a lot of things piling on top of each other.
Yeah.
That you got to say you brought it on yourself, because I was out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I was living in the
Mm,
streets. So you know everything is for a reason. God
mm.
really don't make mistakes. The Most High don't make mistakes. And I just been trying to embrace that. You know what I'm saying? I have my kids to live for. I have my mother
Yeah.
who's still here. I have siblings. I got a lot of people that love me and support me in what I'm doing. Even
Right.
people that I just met, like yourself. Like, you've been so so helpful and so encouraging and stuff like that right off the bat. I just love your spirit. You know what I'm
Ditto,
saying? Like,
man.
it really,
Same here.
it really lights up a room. Like, when you walk in the room, your
Mm.
presence is really felt, fam. And I I appreciate everything, going forward, and everything that you've done, like, for real. Who instilled that spirit in you?
Ah.
What instilled that spirit in you? I know it come from the Most High, but what I'm saying, who around you helped cultivate that besides your nana, your aunt?
Oh man, I think that, and I appreciate you saying that. It was
No, it's
beautiful
the
words,
truth. That's
brother.
that's real, fam.
I appreciate that because I felt your energy too. I was like, oh, this
Yeah,
dude, he's good people, and when good people meet good people, they just
facts,
connect like that.
facts.
And I could tell that you're on a forward movement, like a trajectory that's like moving fast towards something really good and really productive and
I
really
appreciate that, fam. You've been very encouraging.
fantastic for an entire whole of people, not
Facts.
just a small entity of people, but just an
Nah, that's the
entire
mission
whole.
we on. Like, the mission is real. It's serious.
Yeah, and I think, for myself, I just do a lot of self-study. I do self-study where I just, I do experiments with myself. I'll sit, and just I find quiet spaces and I just work on that. It's like, we talk about in class, like working on emotions and
Form
really
that's
having
that's
that.
basically a
Yeah,
self-built-in form of meditation, huh?
it is. And meditation don't have to look like that.
That's what
It
I'm
don't
saying.
have
That's
to look
that's it.
like
That's your
that.
own built-in way of,
That's
of being zen at all times.
exactly.
Know how to stay real cool. You know what I'm saying? And that comes
Exactly.
with practice. That comes with time.
And it comes with confidence.
That's a
It
good word.
comes with confidence in self to say, no, like I know myself. Like this Omar was like, do you know yourself? I was like, yeah, I pretty much know myself.
Yeah.
I know what I like, what I don't like. I know what I want, what I don't want. And I
Right.
know, I know that I desire to have that. And really being on stage and performing to me is the ultimate highest high of life.
Right.
And when I got pregnant with my son, I stopped drinking, smoking, cursing. It changed my diet. I did everything. So for like 14 years, I've been clean of all of it, because I
Salute,
wanted
salute
to.
to you, bro.
I appreciate that. I wanted to bring a being into the world and I not have to hide something. I go and take a
Right.
sip, or I go and take a smoke, or I go and do this, and I put the baby down and go. It's like, nah, I don't want to. I want to be present and I want to be as real as I possibly can be. And then I
That's
found
real
out
strength,
through
fam.
that motion of that I found my passion for music even stronger and understood that my high comes from performing. My
Right.
high comes from making music that's uplifting. My high comes from encouraging others. And my high comes from me wanting what I want for myself. I want for everybody. I want the best for everybody,
Right.
So
You found the strength and not a vice.
what
That's what
exactly?
that's what's
Exactly.
up.
Now I don't have to look for it. I can
Right.
just go get my guitar. You know what I'm saying? Or I can
That's
just start singing.
See, listen, you want look, me and my friends was talking last night.
Mhm.
We smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
And I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing against
oh nah, like
nobody. Yeah, it's
to
all
each his
good.
own. Everybody
Yeah.
have to bear their own cross, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we was talking about the fact that my building, the building that I rent in,
Yeah.
I don't rent it out, I rent from them. The building
Okay.
the people that I rent from, it's a no smoking building.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that because I'm more productive.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
what I've been doing is I come straight here. I get up, even
Mm-hmm.
my little schoolwork and stuff. I come straight here because
Yeah.
I can't smoke while I'm in here.
See?
You see what I'm saying? So I've been locking myself in here. Now I haven't stopped smoking, but that
Yeah.
if I'm in here for 8 hours, 10 hours, you know what I'm saying? Running
So
back
do
and
you
forth.
you think you're more productive when you don't smoke?
I'm definitely more productive because it don't allow me to soak in my feelings. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? My anxiety and stuff like that. I've been learning different ways to channel it. You know what I'm saying? I get a
Yeah.
little anxious. I turn the TVs on. I get on the computer, start doing a little research. You know what I'm saying? I might go to the
Yes.
pies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm really trying to force self into positivity. Like, just like I forced myself into those streets, just like I forced myself into danger and trouble
Mm.
and all that. Sometimes you gotta push yourself too. And
That's right.
that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to encourage everybody around me. Not on no, look, man, I'm changing my life. You need to change yours. Not like that. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? Just trying to live, an example, be an example.
Yeah,
You know
walking
what I'm
that
saying?
light. That's it.
How
Just
much
walking your light.
do you ever get tired of being the example? Because I'm pretty sure, like, people like me just adopt you. You know what I'm saying? I done pretty much made you part of my family, bro. Like, for real.
For
You,
real.
you ain't getting
But
rid of
hey,
me. You know what I'm
and
saying?
I'm good with
Does
that.
that ever get tiresome though?
Nah, I don't, because I don't think of it like that.
Mhm.
I think of it. I think of just my person. I always want the best for everybody. So, but at the same time, my best for everybody is that I want to have a good time. I
Right.
love having a good time. I love laughing. I love, making jokes. I love cracking jokes. I love playing cards. I love, you know what I mean? So it's like I always want to continue that, and just because I've always done that my whole life.
I
That
had
I
a
was always
basketball
that
coach told
kid
me
that
one
was
time.
joking around all the time. So I don't, I can't take myself too seriously, but I'm serious about myself.
My my coach told me the best thing for everybody is the best you.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
That's
so
the greatest gift you can give to the world is your best
the
self.
best thing for everybody is the
Yeah.
best you could provide. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's something a white man told me
Hmm.
playing basketball in high school. I used to give him
Hmm.
a real hard time. I was straight, like, I want to say fresh out of public school, because when I got put on probation at 12 years old,
Hmm.
I had to go to another parish, but my parents put me in private school, long story short. So,
Okay.
I was trying to buck that system, so they could kick me out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
they
They
used
wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they used to pray for me, and you know what I'm saying, work with
Oh,
me and
see.
stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that made all the difference in the world, because I ended up doing well in school. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I graduated high school. I dropped out of college, to pursue money. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I thought it was some money. We were making a few thousand back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought I was really making me some money until it ran out, or until I went to jail, or But to put that aside, like, what I was trying to say was, like, it's just, for me,
Yeah.
it's a constant struggle, because, like I say, I'm trying to get both of my feet planted solidly, you know what I'm saying, in
Yeah.
one direction, but I do know my mission, and I do know that my responsibility to my folks.
How long
You know what
did
I'm saying?
you go into prison for?
Altogether I did like 2.5 years.
Okay. And in that time, what do you think is the greatest lesson that you learned?
The greatest lesson that I learned,
Yeah.
man, time is the only non-renewable resource.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
So then does that make it more valuable to you?
It made it all the more valuable because, like I told you, in that time I lost my dad, you know, and a whole bunch of other things that you have to deal with behind that wall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that was the biggest wake up call to me because I never been one to shy from violence or to be, you know, scary or anything like that. But I noticed that, okay, I got 3 years, you know what I'm saying? Possibly get some good time. I can get out of here in 11 months. This man got 30 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to learn how to be very diplomatic. You know what I'm saying? But you also have to learn how to become that worse side of you.
Mm.
And me personally, for real, even when I was in the streets, I never liked that person. You know, I
Mm.
never liked the bad side of me. I used to take the money and stuff I was making actually help people.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't buy flashy stuff. I didn't do, you know, what the traditional drug dealer does. You know what I'm saying? I was really helping my folks. I was doing stuff for people, helping the elderly. Like same thing I do now, but I'm
Yeah.
just, you know, I just wasn't doing it in a righteous way. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? The heart was, like I said, I forced myself off into the streets. I didn't have to do that. That was something that it was around. It was heavy. The neighborhood I grew up in, you know, Bunch Village, it was, you know, it was heavy with that, but that wasn't something I had to do. My family, my parents, they provided for us. My dad had a trucking company. My mom worked for the hospital until she retired
Mm.
from that and went to go work for my dad and his dad. Now the only downside to that was the business went under. You know what I'm saying? My dad having kidney failure. His dad died in a tragic accident. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? At the yard. So, you know, like life took a lot of shifts on me. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I just didn't handle the pressure the right way, to be honest, if I got to be honest about it. So that's,
Yeah.
with that being said, the young 17, 18-year-old, the next KellyLoveJones, what's the advice you have for her when she had that little fork in the road, or when she, you know, she having that day where she just ready to give up?
Let me tell you this quick story before I
All
tell
right.
you that, and it'll
Go ahead.
answer that.
Take your
I
time.
It was some years ago. My son was about 2, and I was on tour with him. I decided that I would take him on tour, and I had a one-way ticket to LA, $80 in my pocket,
Mm.
a stroller, a baby, a diaper bag, a CD bag, my clothes bag, and a guitar. And I say, here we go. And we went all the way to LA, and I had only 2 shows set up in LA
With $80 on you.
with $80.
Yeah,
And
you was
by the
in trouble
time
with
I
them
finished
80.
those 2 shows, we wound up touring up from Sacramento, California, all the way down to San Diego, California for 9 months
Mm.
on a tour that I had not set up. I just went because
Right.
I said, I'm not gonna let this stop me. People say, you got a baby, you ain't got no money, blah, 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 whatever. It's like, no, like I'm about to make this happen. This is what I want to do. And from that tour, I was able to speak to so many mothers, so many single mothers, so many single fathers, and say, listen, we have to show our children
Wow.
what it looks like to follow your dreams, right? Like we have to say, if we're going to say you can do anything you want to do in your life, you can be whoever you want to be, then we got to do that.
You gotta really be able to show it to him. Right.
You know, we got to live it, you know? And so the last day when I was leaving, my son and I, we were leaving California to go to Baltimore to end the last leg of the tour. And I saw this red leather guitar bag, and it's on his brother's back. And I was like, wow, that's the most beautiful guitar bag. I've never seen a guitar bag like that in my life. So I just followed. So boys say, follow the red bag, follow
Follow
the
the
red
red
bag.
bag.
So I'm just watching this brother move with this red bag, and he goes by this, he sits down. I said, I'm gonna go talk to him. I went up, I took my son. I said, I love this bag. Where you get it from? We talked about it. Okay, cool. Wound up we on the same flight. So he gets up and he take the red bag, and I'm still following the red bag. He goes, he's goes by this lady who's in a wheelchair. He starts to push her. She's got really big hair, and she starts to push her, and she's on a plane too. And so they call for the, the people they want to first get on, the people with babies and people in wheelchair who need special assistance. So I go up there with my son, and then he pushes her up on a wheelchair behind me. And the attendant says, "Can you, move over talking to me and my son? Let's let the lady in the wheelchair go in first." And so I was like, "Of course." And so the lady in the wheelchair goes, "No. You go. You got your baby. You got all that stuff. You go with your baby. You go in front of me." I turn and I look at this woman with this big hair sitting in a wheelchair, and it's Shaka Khan. And I said, "Oh my God, Shaka Khan just let me skip her in line." You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. So I go and I get on the plane, and I go and I sit in my seat. And of course, my seat is way all the way at the back of the plane, and she's sitting in first class. And they get ready to close the blue curtains to separate the first class from the next class.
Right.
And so I said, there's no way I'm getting off this plane without giving Shaka Khan my CD and talking to her. So I took a CD out of my bag, and my baby was like in the chair falling asleep. And I said, okay, I just changed him. He was way out of wet. So I got a dirty diaper and a CD in my hand. And I said, okay, how am I going to do this? So I said, all right, here we go. I'm going to go throw this diaper, and something going to come to mind what I got to do. I'm going to go throw this diaper away in the bathroom. So I'm heading all the way, and I'm going all the way from the back of the plane to the first class bathroom. Towards right before the bathroom is right before the blue curtain. So I said, okay, so I go, and the doors open, and a flight attendant standing in front of me blocking the first class. And I start to walk forward to the thing. She says, "Miss, you can't go into it." And I say, "Oop." And I turn and I go into the bathroom, and I dump the diaper. When I dump the diaper, I then turn and flip around her. Before she can even say something, I'm in the first class. Right?
You had to go.
And I go straight to Shaka. She's behind me, miss. And I go and I sit down in Shaka Khan's seat right next to her. And I said, "Miss Khan, Shaka Khan, this is such a pleasure and an honor to meet you. I just couldn't get off this plane without giving you my CD and tell you how much you've done for me as a musician, as a woman who's singing, and the great music that you put out to the world. I just want to thank you for all that you can do. And one thing that I just want to ask, I'm a single mother traveling as a musician. What is your greatest advice that you can give me as a musician doing this thing?" And she turned and she looked at me. She said, "Baby, never give up. Never give up, no matter what they say, no matter what is done. Never give up." And I'd heard that from 1,000 people.
Yeah, that's different coming from the queen, though.
What?
That's different.
From Shaka Khan?
That's a hell of an experience, fam.
Man. And
I saw her one time from the 10th row at Essence Festival. Real talk. But that was an experience, though.
Man, it was. Because first of all, I had to be confident enough to say my music is worthy for Shaka Khan to hear.
Right.
Second of all, I had to be confident enough to say I can make it to her. And third of all, I had to be confident enough to say I am honorable to myself to know that I can speak with her as well. She's Shaka Khan. I'm KellyLoveJones.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The one and
you know
only.
what I mean? So it's like all of those things that came to be. And I had a friend of mine who taught me that. He said, "Man, I used to be scared to meet celebrities and stars and stuff like that." And he'd be like, "They're meeting you, though.
Right.
You're meeting them, and they're meeting you. So it's the same thing. It's not about arrogance. It's not about this. It's not about that. Like you're Sam, just as important as any Shaka Khan, any DJ Khaled, you know what I'm saying?"
Yeah, I really do feel that way too. I really do feel that way.
Yeah, and that's
not being cocky, but just knowing that I have a purpose as well. They serving their purpose, and I'm here to serve mine.
Exactly.
Facts. Okay, so moving along a little bit. So you would definitely tell them to never give up, because roadblocks and all that's gonna come with it, right?
Never give up. Never give up.
We
sometimes it's even people that are closest to you be the first ones to say you need to quit that.
Oh, that's gonna be the ones that's gonna tell you.
Man, I had so many. Man, I wouldn't be where I am right now if I listened to that.
Well, I use that as fuel though. Anybody who tell me that that's the best thing you can tell me that I can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really watch the people funny that give me too much compliment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
People compliment me too much. I kind of watch that because that's just that's just a mind thing. But that's just the world we live in. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? You never really know what's truly genuine. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But staying on the interview, um. So we talked about your recording process. We talked
yeah,
about the difference in albums and stuff like that. But you
mhm,
mentioned touring. What's
yeah,
the what's the difference in touring now from back? I mean, of course, your son was younger back then. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
what's the I guess the upsides to it now opposed to back then having to travel with your son and stuff like that? Is it a better feeling or is it just a different feeling or
Since that tour, I've done some one-offs. I haven't really done a major tour like that since he
okay?
was that small. I've done somewhere I just go and play the city and come back home, or play the city and come back home.
Trust about to
So,
have you real busy.
huh?
I say, well, Trust about to have you real busy.
Trust about to have me. That's the thing. That's the plan.
Yeah.
That is the plan. Yeah, we're supposed to be going to Atlanta to do some stuff in late May, early June. So
Okay. How can people get with Miss KellyLoveJones if they're trying to book you or you know what I'm saying, whatever?
yeah, KellyLoveJones at gmail.com. You can reach me there. I'm on Instagram, KellyLoveJones, Facebook, KellyLoveJones. So yeah.
When can we look forward to being blessed by the Trust album?
Yeah, that's a great question. No, I'm in the studio doing down the last parts of the mixing and mastering.
Okay, so
Um,
everything is recorded though, correct?
everything is recorded and done.
How
I'm so
many
happy about
tracks?
that. It's 8.
What's your favorite track off of that?
Hmm. Oh, there's so many good ones.
My favorite one so far.
More to life. More to life, you rolling. Wait till
That's
you hear
my
it.
song.
Man, that's a different version you have because I don't
Man, that's
have the
my
mixed
song,
one.
man. I feel like that's my song. That song was
That's your
made
song. That is your
tailor-made for me.
song.
You know what I'm saying?
I did.
But for real, you damn near had me in tears in class because like I had been going through
Mm,
some stuff lately. You know what I'm saying? And like I had missed one class,
mhm.
dealing with some personal stuff or whatever. And
Okay.
and it was crazy because when Mr. Omar said that you was gonna give us a treat, I just looked up like, man, this is crazy. Cause I already knew you was about to come with something that was gonna be uplifting. And I had really
Mm,
literally needed that at that moment. That's why I told you
wow.
like I feel like you made that song for me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's the
That's
type of feeling you about to bring to the world, fam.
yeah, man.
Like real talk.
That's what we gonna do.
Facts.
We gonna do that. You
Well,
know what I
hey,
mean?
I'm here. Any way I can help or be a part of it, man. I'm here. I'm down for it. Like I
Yeah,
said, I wanna pay that energy back in any way that I can, bro. Cause that energy fills my cup for real.
that's what's up, man. Yeah, we here to we here to fill all our cups over. Over the
Real
rim.
man. That's what it's about because like
Yeah.
I never this might sound crazy, bro, but who would have known that just being positive could be so much fun? Like that it could get your days feel bright. The sun feel brighter. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like just
Yeah.
simple stuff, bro. I be leaving from class really feeling motivated. Now I be nervous
Yeah.
because I'm trying to, get it down, trying to figure it all out. But
Yeah.
just the experience itself, just being able to listen to Mr. Omar, like that dude's story is so inspiring, bro. It's crazy. Like I
Yeah.
be listening to him just tell all them stories, and it really be unbelievable. Some of the stuff that he done accomplished and been through and seen, and the people he
Yeah.
done encountered in life and stuff like that. It just make you want to go and get some of that for yourself. Like it's really
Yeah.
inspiring, bro. And I really appreciate everything that's coming through and from the situation over there at the business school, because that's
For real.
I never knew that they had things like that available.
See?
And that's been around since 1985.
How did you even hear about it?
Peter Paul.
Okay.
Peter Paul posted it on his social media, and I called him like, man, what's that? He's like, man, that's something you need to get involved with that. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
it's been a blessing from day one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what you got to leave us with, Miss KellyLoveJones, before I let you get out of here? I know you got to get back to your mixing.
Oh man. I want to leave you with
What's the next engagement y'all have? I know I missed the theater.
well, we're gonna do some album release listening parties. So once the album is done, I want to do some very small, like just some very intimate little listening parties where people come in.
Well, leave a
And
space or two for me and the cameraman.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna do Trust again. I'm just getting the fundings together and everything together. We can really put it together proper again in the right space. And have people come out and be very comfortable and really, really experience the whole experience.
Just let me know how we can help, man. We here.
For sure, man. I appreciate you, Sam.
Thank you for coming on the show, Miss Kelly. I took up enough of your time, man. I look forward to working with you, just being around you and collaborating with you in any way possible, man.
Same.
Miss KellyLoveJones, everybody. This has been an episode of MillionViewzPodcast brought to you by the Athlete's Foot in Kenner. Oh, I wanted to tell you, Miss Kelly, the Athlete's Foot in Kenner, 2505 Williams Boulevard. We have a monthly promo, 15% off. The promo code for this month is FRESH, FRESH.
Nice.
So if you're in the area, if you're in Kenner, at any time you're shopping for the kids or you know what I'm saying, loved ones or whatnot, stop over there and holler at my man Hussein or Randy and they'll take care of you.
Perfect.
Let them know Mills sent you.
Hey, all right.
All right, fam. I look forward to seeing you later on in the week.
All right, definitely. Thanks, Sam.
Miss KellyLoveJones, everybody.